Okay.
Okay.
Give me 1 sec.
Are we starting in 3 minutes? Okay, let me get a coffee.
What rank are these diamonds? Are they all the same diamond, or are they just like? Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Is altruism the fourth diamond, or are we missing one? Oh shit! Altruism
He's
makes
going
it
downhill. Feels bad.
Oh yeah.
Hello, hello.
What's up?
game.
Alrighty, well, hello and welcome. So we have 13 people in chat, which is a fabulous thing. So hopefully everyone's here to learn things, and please feel free to ask a lot of questions in chat. So with me I have our 4 grand champs. We got Falacer, we got Snowyy, we got Shadow Hunter, and we got Skillz still. And then we have our 4 diamonds who are Color Cold, Deeds, Echo, and Altruism. So it's going to be pretty simple and pretty chilled. We're going to set up a private game, and we'll have a GC on either side, and then we'll rotate the diamonds. And we'll in studio here, Snowyy and Falacer will pretty much just talk about the games as they're happening, answer questions from chat, and we'll see where we go. There's no real structure or agenda. Hopefully there's not a lot of awkward silence. We all have a lot of fun, but I think let's stop fucking about and get going. So what I'm gonna do, Shadow and Skill, if you can go. Well, Shadow, you're already in your chat. Skill, if you can go to yours, and then the diamonds, I'm gonna put you into one of the. I'm gonna select what groups you go into. And then when you join the game, just join according to what chat you're in. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah, makes sense.
Fabulous. It's not rocket science. It's Rocket League.
It's Rocket League.
Altruism, I had to say it quickly because I knew you were coming with it.
I'm sorry I ruined your catchphrase there. It was so obvious. It was so good.
Absolutely. It was just hanging there. Okay, fine. So let's get going. Okay, so just randomly, I'm going to put Color Cold with Skill and Deeds with Skill, and that leaves Echo with Shadow, so you'll stay here. And Altruism, you'll be a Shadow first. And then Falacer and Snowyy, I'm going to put us into the private channels. I'm just going to drag you down there now. All right, cool. Let's set this up. What map should we use?
Salty Shores might do. No, not
Okay,
Salty
well,
Day, dude.
We won't do Salty Day. I agree with you on that at least.
You literally just get blinded on that map.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
After a couple games on there.
Okay, let's do. Do you know? I really like Wasteland Night.
Yeah.
But we'll rotate around, I think. Or maybe that'll just be a schlep.
Is it 3v3?
I think so, yeah.
There we go. Okay, so I'm going to have a username password so Altruism can join. Mutator settings. Okay, I think I got this right. Let's go. So just let Altruism know he should join.
This is his.
All right, Altruism, you can join with the username pass. Dead.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Why are we doing Euro?
Oh shit! Well spotted. I'll reset it up. Okay. Everybody leave. I've selected Europe, which is not a smart thing to do.
Rank practice.
Yeah, exactly. Might as well. South Africa. Okay, good. Let's go. Deeds. Oh god, Deeds has got to leave.
No.
Okay,
Leave
everyone
back
leave
out.
it.
Deeds, you got to leave that game.
Okay,
Cool,
we're
yeah.
out.
Testing my stream last night. And
Okay,
some
hold
random
on.
guy gave my show. And he was like, yo, I'm a GC as well. I'm a South African GC. And then I was like, I'm a bit suspicious. And then he's like, yeah, I'm 1700. I'm on PS4.
Oh wow.
What?
And then so it turned out he lives in the UK, but he's South African.
Oh,
He hasn't
okay.
competed.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Fair enough.
Okay, are they ready?
All right, Shadow, pick your side.
Okay,
Okay, so go opposite
all
to
done.
whatever Shadow's in, guys. Let's roll.
cool.
Dude.
All right, so
Okay,
so the theory here is that so you guys are in and watching, right? Snowy Falacer.
yeah.
Skillz.
So we can just chat as we go, and then I'll bring up questions from chat. Let me turn the music off now.
Yeah, good skill.
It's fine, dude. They can start like this. They get yeah.
It's not going to be like casting. It's not pointless conversation. But what's that?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I need to turn this game sound down a little bit. So the reason I picked the reason I wanted to get diamonds in is that I thought diamond is kind of that weird level. You've gotten out of plat, so you're not completely shit anymore. But it's like a dead zone because you're not really good, but you're not shit. You're out of ball chasing, but you don't understand rotation. You don't understand general game sense, and it's a really hard. Well, maybe I've chosen it because I've been hard stuck there for so long.
Yeah.
I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
I don't know. I'm not sure. It's still like, yeah. I don't know if it's the weird spot. I think a little bit higher is the weird spot, maybe.
I think the difference between, say, Diamond and Champ is probably mechanics and positioning in terms of the level of those. Like, it's not really about learning new skills at that point. It's just about bettering what you already know.
Yeah,
Because like you
consistency
see
and
some
mechanics.
diamonds, yeah, you see like a lot of diamonds have the knowledge and they have the mechanics, but they just don't do them well or consistently.
So what? I mean, so would that be a thing? Like, just consistency with mechanics.
Yeah, so like just basic aerials, you know, they probably missing them or, you know, just hitting them very poorly most of the time. Like you see there, that shot that Deeds just took.
Yeah.
Probably champ players and up are gonna hit that 7 times out of 10. And diamond maybe only 2 or 3.
Okay.
It's also like doing certain mechanics in certain
good
positions.
shot.
That's a good shot, yeah. Like people will sometimes control the ball or either boom the ball when they
Yeah,
really
speaking of
don't need to.
controlling the ball, Echo just passed it away there. Panic touch, straight
Yeah.
to color call.
Okay. Well, let's see how we. Oh. And
Yeah, you
with
see there,
yeah, go ahead, Snowy.
Deeds was very slow on the kickoff there. Like he barely touched it. So that's another mechanic that'll be inconsistent at this rank.
Well, it'd be
So
interesting
if
to
you-
go ahead, Falacer.
Sorry, if you watch Skill and Shadow, the touches that they make in comparison to Diamond, they're often going to make touches towards open space, or like try make touches that they can follow up themselves. And one of the main reasons for that is obviously you don't want to give possession away, and you don't want to just hit the ball without a purpose. So like you'll see some of the diamonds hitting the ball, and then it just doesn't really go anywhere, or the play doesn't develop. In comparison to what Shadow just did, like a flip or like an edge roll, it made something happen.
Now it brings up an interesting point, and I'm going to correlate this with me because and my ongoing struggle is everything you've said so far are things that both of you I think have said to me, and every other high ranked player I've spoken to has pretty much said to me. But it's a hard thing to practice. You know, it's one thing to go and try and practice a ceiling shot or an air dribble because it's a very specific thing to practice. But things like that sort of game sense and hitting the ball into empty space, all that sort of, or touching it into empty space, is hard to practice by yourself.
Yeah, I think like what I mentioned to you before, it comes down to game sense. Like that sort of stuff has to be developed through experience, like just playing. So you know, through experience, you play with the conscious mindset to improve and to win games, and over time you'll just develop that naturally. You might not even be thinking about a lot of things, and you're doing them correctly or wrong, but it's just based on your experience, what you've learned.
Okay, well, one of the amazing things about Rocket League is that there are so many ways to approach it. I've spoken to so many people in the last year, and it's amazing to see the different approaches. Where some people say, practice the high-level mechanics. Go for practicing the flip resets and the ceiling shots because that'll improve your car control. And others say it differently. Others are like, focus on the ground, focus on the ball. And Rocket League is such a broad game that there, I think, are many, many ways to go about it. But obviously, there's more wrong ways than right ways. But
Yeah.
and I don't know what the right way is. I mean, I've been doing so many things now, and I do think finally I'm at a point where I feel like the various things that I've been practicing are starting to come together, and I'm playing a lot better. But it's a hell of a journey. So I don't know. Can you give a definitive statement of this is how you should approach training and improving your skill?
I think there is certain truisms in Rocket League of what you really should know how to do, no matter what playstyle you're going to adapt. Those would be like power clears, knowing how to rotate, going back post when you need to, knowing how to go for the ball. Those things you should be able to just know how to do, regardless of whatever playstyle you're trying to adopt. In terms of trying to change your playstyle or like adapting to the meta, in quotation marks, that only really comes once you know all those basics, and you can do those consistently. At least that's my take.
Yeah. Hitting the ball is a big one. Like Falacer said, power clears, but I think literally just in quotation marks, power hits in general. Just being able to hit the ball cleanly. I mean, ultimately, that's the complete base raw part of the game. Is just hitting the ball all the time. So if you can perfect that, you just reap the benefits as you go along.
Okay. So, well, it is, I guess now, coming back, it is a function of time. And I think, sorry, this is tell these guys which...
Something, then I'm following...
So obviously your teams now are with a new guy. Ready when you are.
Okay. Cool,
let me go back to my other chat then.
Like 5 seconds.
Oh God, I guess I just ready up.
Do they know where they're going now?
Yes, they do. Okay, I just want to just check the chat and see if there's any questions that have come up there. No, Mr. Lowe. Mr. Lowe wants to know who told me to practice high-level mechanics. That's
a valid question. I'm also curious now, actually.
Yeah, no, it was a long time ago, and the less said about it, the better. But there was, when I was doing my 90 days of training, there were a couple of people. I had so many people come into chat and go, "Oh, you should do this and you should do that," and there were a few who said, why aren't you practicing ceiling shots? And I said, because I just want to know how to hit the fucking ball and control it. And then there was the comment, well, if your car control will improve if you practice a flip reset or a ceiling shot, it helps with that, and which I remained unconvinced of, and I think I practiced ceiling shots twice in the 90 days, and that was that.
I don't think it's. Yeah, I would say this is actually an interesting talking point. Like, I would say in the last maybe year and a half, it's become like quite a big trend for all these lower ranked players to just be going for, if we can say, squishy muffins plays, like the popular players like Squishy and Justin. Most of these low ranked players see them doing all these cool moves like ceiling shots, flip resets. And they instantly just want to be like them, right?
Yes.
But it's actually a very bad habit to do that, because quite honestly, you it's trying to run before you can walk, really. So they spend all their time learning these individual mechanics, but actually they just wasting their time, because they're not getting anywhere. They're not learning any fundamentals that are actually going to help them go up in rank. So it's quite a common trend. You'll see a lot of literally like plat gold players doing some quite nice ceiling shots and flip resets, but they're still in gold. They can barely shoot the ball hard or clear
Yes.
it or even save it for that matter. So, but they can do ceiling shots perfectly. So it doesn't really accomplish anything.
It is an interesting point that because I've recently gotten back into ones, which we'll get to because that's a subject of its own. But it's interesting, and I'm fairly low ranked in ones, and I'm amazed how many people are attempting to be offensive with a ceiling shot, and I can't do it. I mean, I've got to be clear with it. I can't do a ceiling shot properly. I can't do high level mechanics. But I tell you one thing I've learned, I know how to defend a ceiling shot, and I think I score every time when they try one now, which is quite interesting.
Yeah, if I compare it to back when I was like equivalent of plat, and I suppose I was a culprit of it as well. But back then it wasn't as bad. The thing back then was air dribbles. So, like I say, I was a culprit of it. When I was a low-ranked player, I always used to see air dribbles, and I was like, wow, like that's really cool. Like I need to learn how to air dribble. So I literally just grinded air dribbles in free play for the longest time, back when I was such a low rank. And that's probably a mistake. But I think because of all these new mechanics, it's like just so much worse now.
Okay, well then let's strip it back a bit and let's talk about you. Well, Falacer, let's start with you. How, in your mind, how did you get good? And I recognize with Rocket League is a weird game because no matter what level you're at, you always think you're bad because you're up against people sort of at your level, slightly higher than you, and you're very aware of the mistakes you're making at whatever level you're at. But what was the journey for you getting to where you are now?
Sure, yeah. I think just on that last statement, the thing with Rocket League is the skill ceiling, in my opinion, hasn't been reached, so there's always another level to reach for. So it's not like some of these other games where there's only so much you can improve by. Like, you can always improve by so much, regardless of where you are on the rank leaderboard. For me, personally, the way that I find joy in this game, or like that I've always found joy in this game, is just the mechanics. I've never found a game that's similar to Rocket League in the way that you move your car, or the way that you can control the car. Like, you literally control everything with this car, or with the car. So for me, just sitting in free play for hours and hours is how I get my enjoyment from Rocket League. Like,
wow.
A lot of people play ranked and play and do all that stuff, to get enjoyment of beating up other people, or whatever it is.
Team play going on, yeah.
Ooh, passing play. Not great.
Yeah.
But like for me, I just think, well, you can just accomplish that in some other game, where you just play against other people and then try win.
Okay.
So for me, I just spent a lot of time in free play.
And when did that start? I mean, because I'm sure you weren't like, or maybe you were like that from the beginning. Or when did you go, hold on a second, I want to just grind it out in free play and get better there? At what point did that become a thing for you?
Yeah, I think I've always been like that. Like ever since I started the game, I spent a lot of time offline, so I didn't play ranked for the first couple hundred hours.
Oh wow.
And then I would just play casual matches randomly.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
so rare that people don't play ranked. Everyone's just straight in.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, well, exactly. I don't consider myself to be the norm of those kind of cases.
Okay.
So I don't think people should follow that by any means, because sitting in free play for hours and hours can be very boring.
Yes.
I have quite a few hours in free play that I'm not entirely comfortable to admit.
Well, do you know what I'd like to do? And whether we do it tonight or another night or whatever, is I'd love to have you on and just put you in free play and just watch you do your free play thing if you're keen to do that.
Sure, yeah.
No, listen. It's probably not the most riveting television you'll ever see, but I think it would be interesting for people to see, because I think there is a question: what do you do in free play? And a lot of the pros have made videos about it, and they're like, oh, just drive around and hit the ball, and you see these fucking guys, they're flying around. You go, okay, so I must do that. Well, okay.
Well, actually, Squishy made a video one time, like a 30-minute video of him just doing free play.
Oh wow. Oh, that's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, definitely interesting to watch. But like you say, I mean, almost the majority of people watching that video are like nowhere near those mechanics, like what Squishy is doing.
Yes.
I mean, you just have to play to do like to your own ability, really.
Mm.
And the biggest thing about free play is like you just have all the time in the world to just try things over and over. Like for example, the way I learned flip resets, I just found a way to set it up in free play, and like I say, there's unlimited time, so I literally you just do it over and over again, and practice makes perfect, and you'll get it eventually, right? It's just staying at it. So yeah, free play is a great tool to learn new things.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, this game has ended. What I want to do for the next game is we've kind of ignored the game, so I think in the next game, let's focus on actually what's going on there, and I'm gonna shut up as much as possible, and you guys just give your thoughts, opinions, and whatever you want to say about what's going on in the.
There was a really nice pause from Deeds in this game. That was mid conversation.
Yeah,
they've had a couple nice, or like they're trying to or attempt passing plays. It seems, just with the GCs like finishing them off, mostly.
Okay. All right. Well, I haven't given them any warning. I've just dumped them into different chats, so hopefully they'll figure it out from there.
All right. Okay.
Okay. Well, there's a question here, which from Statics, which is, it says, I'm curious what pros. Not sure what the question is exactly. I'm curious what pros inspires them to get good, or what inspires you to get better.
That's a very hard question. I think it's different for everyone. Yeah, I don't know.
No, fair enough. Well, okay. Let's take you. Why? Okay, hold on a second. We're going to end up going down a whole thing. Let's watch this game.
That's the next game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, what's the team's Deeds, Shadow, and Color Gold? Okay.
This might be closer. So I think Deeds is doing the best out of the diamonds, and maybe Color Cold the worst. So this could be a bit more balanced. Oh. Wow, who's up for that?
It's good to see it like
oh
that.
No. Altruism?
I was gonna say
Yeah,
it's good to see that like trying to put pressure on the ball and then they almost uncle.
Oh, Altruism's dribbling.
So it's a lot. Currently, it's a lot of skill and shadow, basically waiting for the diamonds to make a misplay and then taking the ball and dribbling it up the field. If the diamonds like, get a pass, they'll play off. Oh yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah, Altruism hit it out. Shadow just took it. Yeah, definitely. At the lower ranks, the lack of control is very clear to see. They, like Falacer mentioned earlier, they really don't keep the ball to themselves. They just they just feel the need to make a touch. That's what they've learned, so they just touch it. But against better players, it just gives away possession, gives them free touches.
It is a hard transition. It's a hard transition to make, and I consider myself somewhere in the middle of that transition, where you know, early on you're so focused on just hitting the ball, and it's a victory if you can just hit the ball somewhere, and then at some point, like now, you're actually trying to think like one or two.
Altruism with a miss. This is one of these aerials that I was talking about. You know, this would be a very comfortable aerial, and actually he was just out of position there. He's a bit too far up, so it came over him. He said calculated.
Well, I guess it's the transition from just thinking about the next hit on the ball to maybe the next 2 or 3 hits on the ball. Okay, I'm going to hit it there, then follow up there, then, and I don't know. Is that just a function of time as well?
It's not really like a plan like that. It's more like, because Rocket League is so, like, every situation is so unique. You can't just in the moment. It's very rare to see like pre-planned plays going down. You know, because there's so many factors that can change what you do. Literally, just your car being a millimeter to the side or the ball being a bit higher, that sort of stuff. I mean,
The
you have a
thing that
general idea, but
The thing that you're like trying to hone in on when you're grinding up the ranks is your prediction of the play, because there's going to be certain situations where you know that there's a high probability of something happening from this play, so you want to put yourself in a position to deal with that. So, like for example, if you are rotating back, and there's a 3v1 on the last guy, you know that you probably need to rotate back post because that 3v1 is going to go badly for you.
Okay.
So you need to put yourself in certain positions by predicting, or just like knowing what is going to occur from the play.
oh
It's a nice shot.
yeah, good shot. But you see here, positional mistake. You see how he's gone front post here, and now not a super hard shot is like above his head, very awkward.
So that was being front post rather than more back post to defend.
Yeah. He should have been a bit more patient there.
Okay. All right.
That's also another thing, and that's something I saw a lot with you, that it's not paying attention to what the other players are doing. That's like another aspect of the game that's pretty big, that almost doesn't exist at this rank. Like that goal, for instance, which is why I bring it up, is the better players will be watching the guy who had the ball there and seeing that he's actually not done touching it. So going forward is a mistake. He's gonna score a double. Yeah.
That also comes with confidence of your mechanics whilst you're not looking at your car. Like being able to know what your car's position is and being able to touch the ball without like looking at the ball or looking directly at your car.
Okay.
Because there becomes an information overload where you don't actually know where to look. And you're being told, look at the player, and then you try to look at the player, but now your car's rotated the wrong way.
You can't look at it. Not
Exactly.
possible.
No, well, that's a very good point. And it is. And you know what? I think this.
Oh, do you see that right there? That was a really good chance to get it clear, and they might get scored on. But yeah, a better cleaner hit on the ball there would have been much better.
All right. So, question in chat. So there's a couple there. Mr. Lowe's answered one of them. So the question was, what separates champs from GCs? Because he says, I think he's saying, I think what he's saying is that he's good mechanically, but he can't seem to hit GC. So what's the jump from high champ into GC?
At the moment, it's quite significant. Like a hard stuck champ 1 versus a player who's GC every season. I mean, it can literally be everything. I mean, it can just be consistency in mechanics, speed, positioning, just shots. You know, it can be so much. I mean, it differs from player to player, but it's quite a lot, and it's generally all of those fundamentals. There's a gap in those fundamentals mainly.
Often, if you're good mechanically, you can very easily carry games by being the most passive player on the team. So by not being super aggressive and letting your teammates just go for the ball often pays off pretty well if you're good mechanically. Because if you're good mechanically, you know that you can save that champ 1 shot that's coming at you if you're in goals.
Okay.
So it's a better use of your mechanics, and just let your teammates go for the ball, because it's very unlikely they're going to be rotating back to defense, you know.
Yeah, and I also should just bring up that the term mechanics often gets misused quite a lot. When people say mechanics, they tend to just instantly think about ceiling shots and just fancy control of your car, basically. But it's a lot more than that. It's, I mean, like hitting the ball cleanly. That's a mechanic in itself. Your timing. So when someone says I have good mechanics, it's like hard to know what they mean by that.
Yes.
You know, like he might be able to do ceiling shots. We don't know, but ceiling shots are going to help you out of champ, or you know, that sort of thing.
They'll help you in mid GC, but like.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this: on the question of mechanics, is it possible to become a GC without being able to do a flip reset and a ceiling shot.
Absolutely.
Huh?
Absolutely. 1,000,000%.
Really?
Johnny Boy.
I
Johnny
mean-
Boy made a video about it
Yeah.
like a couple months ago.
Okay. Well, no, and I think that's an important point. Is I do think there's a. Well, actually, I was watching a Johnny Boy video, and he made a very, very good point, which was, he says a lot of people practice these things because they want to get they want to get 2 or 3 clips of them scoring a flip reset goal, but they're actually not very good at Rocket League. They just want to look cool once in a while.
Yeah.
So I think there's got to be a question of, well, where do you want to go with this? Okay, let's put old tourism back down here, and
Server down for everyone, or just me?
That's me as well.
what's that?
You need to
Well,
recreate.
We
the
need to
match.
remake. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if you win and look, there's a good chance in the last maybe year you could find a team that won a tournament, or won like some big series without any of those moves. In fact, in RCS, I mean, the meta is like ever changing. It's becoming more and more mechanical. But for the most part, those players stay away from that. They're just trying to play solid, right? Because if you don't, like, you're just gonna lose at the highest level. And the same applies all the way down to GC and below.
Okay. All right. Create match. Oh, come on, Deeds, leave.
Alex says, what do you think the
Okay,
easiest
then.
game mode is to rank up?
What is the easiest game
the
mode?
easiest game mode to rank up.
Twos?
Yeah, I would agree.
Twos
Yeah,
is the
I think
easiest.
Yeah, absolutely. Because
Carry
like
potential.
ones is a bit of a unique like a unique play style. And I don't know what it is, but for some reason, like the ranks don't really like correlate.
Okay.
So like a champ ones player is usually a much higher ranked 2v2 player, like maybe C3 GC. But a C3 like or excuse me, a champ 1/2s player is much lower in ones. And it's like kind of close in threes, but threes is not it's not easy to solo queue in threes, so that makes it harder to rank up. And solo stand is literally just the worst game mode. It's impossible to play. So,
Say that again. Which one?
I say solo standard is
Oh, okay.
just terrible.
No, well,
It's,
the general consensus is let's get rid of that shit now, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I can confidently say twos, definitely.
I
Okay.
think also you can just out-mechanic everyone in twos. Like, if you're good mechanically, then twos is the best. Because you,
Yeah,
can
you can.
pretty much just dribble everyone.
Although you can
Okay.
do that in ones as well.
Yeah, that's true.
But
I
it's
think
other factors.
ones,
If
you
you,
get tilted
So,
harder.
which is the hardest then?
which is the
Ones,
hardest?
I would say.
Yeah, probably ones.
Okay.
Yeah, the one skill level ramps up quite quickly, has to be said.
Yeah. No, it's interesting to see because I know a lot of people who are well, a number of people who are sort of champ, high champ, even low GC in twos or threes, and they're like diamond in ones.
Yeah, that's super common. It's completely opposite for me though. Fucking hell.
Okay.
Ones is my best.
Wow,
My best rank.
that's amazing.
Yeah. Feels bad.
I'm just talking about the general population on tilt. Tilting in ones is much more.
Yeah.
You're gonna tilt a
Yeah,
lot
it
than
happens
than playing
very
twos and threes.
frequently. Like ones is
Yeah.
like the tilt game mode. I don't know why though. Like maybe it's the kickoff goals. Like, kickoff goals are
Because you
brutal.
get angry at yourself, I think. Getting angry
Oh,
at
yeah,
yourself.
there's no one to blame. Yeah, there's
Exactly.
no one to
You don't
blame.
have your teammates to
That's a
blame.
big thing.
All right,
Yeah.
so we have a question from Rohan who asks, he says, what are the things to focus on when struggling to get out of plat?
Plat. Oh, this is so
That's
tough.
different for everyone, I think.
What's
yeah,
that, Falacer?
although, I mean,
I think it's different for everyone. You
Okay.
can't really, yeah. I guess there's a few things you could say that are general among everyone, but like everyone has their own strengths and their own things that they should work on.
Well, then
I
you
guess
know what? Hold on. Before you answer that, let me, Rohan, if you can get, if if you can be a bit more specific about your question, what do you think you're struggling with in Plat? What do you think the big issue is for you? And then let's see if we can address the question that way, so it's a bit more personal to you. Do you know what I'd like to do here, guys, while we're waiting for Rohan and some other questions coming, is I want to put I'm going to put player view on. Let's altruism, and let's watch it. Let's watch from his viewpoint, and then we can comment on whatever we want to there. What?
Okay, well, first of all, his camera settings are very not recommended. They look like they default. Are they default? Is it a bug?
I don't think so. He's got a very high. Oh no, is it a very low?
It's I don't know. It's like in the middle. I think it's default. Should we ask him?
No, I think his stiffness is like really low, or is it really high? I don't know. But
Why
his
can't I
camera
get
moves
this
out so
thing?
much.
Okay,
is it-
well let's. Okay, this
Is
is
his
it.
camera not moving? So that
Okay.
means it's split, right? If
Yes,
his camera's
yes,
not
Why
moving,
is it keep? Why does it keep going off of him? This is irritating me.
you have to go out of
Just press
director.
5. Just press
Oh,
5.
Yeah.
just press 5. Okay, thank you. You see.
Yeah, if you're on director, you can still scroll, but then it will change when it wants to
Okay.
go back.
Okay, got you.
Yeah. So he's chilling back post. Oh
Ooh.
no, you can
Yeah, he
actually go back post.
stopped. Expected something out of the play that wasn't gonna happen.
This is good. Is he passing? Wow, very nice pass. Catch it.
That's a
Or
good
back
one.
pass. He's going for boost.
Oh,
Oh, he actually got it. Looked like he might have been missing.
yeah, what's he gonna do with this?
He's passing to no one.
And then Statics asks. He says the. Actually, let this finish, and in between games we'll take questions from chat. You guys carry on.
Well, you see here, he missed all the small pads on his way back to net, and that save would have been a lot easier if he just driven over the pads. This is good. He's waiting. It's a good
His
touch.
path also of that aerial was not the best though.
Yeah.
Like you
yeah.
could have made that aerial with 12 boost.
Yeah, he jumped too early for the aerial based on how much boost he
So
had.
it's like
And this is
missing it. That's a good
yeah,
aerial.
this is what I'm talking about. Like that's another thing that comes into play with what you do in every specific situation. It's like a combination of where's your car, where's the ball, how much boost do you have, and every time it's different.
Yeah.
Completely unique to every situation, basically.
The thing, the difference between low level and high level players is just looking at the boost, making sure it's still there.
Go.
The difference is that you don't at high level you don't think about those kind of things. It's just natural, and you're more thinking
Natural,
about
yeah.
where you're going to place the ball instead.
Yeah, it's all about your game sense.
Oh, used all his boost just to get back.
It's keeping it up. Oh no. Oh,
Oh,
Oh.
Okay.
rip.
guess not.
What was the question in chat?
Okay, so Rohan answered the question of what he wants to improve, but he's deleted it. I think he wants to reword it.
Okay.
Oh, he says rotation and aerials. That's so he was saying what to focus on getting out of chat. I said, well, what do you think the problem is? He says rotation and aerials.
Yeah, I mean that's fair enough. That makes a lot of sense. But what you'll find is it's like those are probably two big things, but there's a lot of very like small things that are all adding up to create like a big effect in his ranked games. But yeah, I mean what he mentioned there, that sounds about right for Plat, honestly.
So
Maybe power shots.
Okay, so power shots, aerials, rotation. So how do you focus on that? How do you practice that? How do you improve that?
Well, rotation, I think like self-analyzing yourself, it's a good thing. So watching your replays, particularly in games where you don't necessarily know what went wrong. Maybe you found yourself in a lot of awkward places and it was just a terrible game in general. That's a really good example to go and look back at in a replay and look where you could have been to make this situation better. So if the ball went over your head, you know, okay, like I could have just hung back. And there's more information now than ever online for all ranks, really, to go and look at and find information about how you should be rotating in plat, diamond, etc.
Okay.
And what is the other thing? Aerials.
Rotation and aerials, yeah.
Aerials, yeah, aerials is much easier. I mean, you can do aerials in free play, but now with custom training, yeah, like you literally just you could sit for 7 hours and just do aerials only in custom packs. That'll help your aerials.
Okay.
Although I think the main thing when doing those training packs is do them consistently rather than do like a big session all at once. So if you're gonna do it for 7 hours, split the 7 hours up into like 2 weeks or something. So like half an hour a day.
Oh,
Because
that's good advice.
it comes with learning anything, right? You don't learn how to play a music instrument just by like spending 7 hours on it. It's more sort of continued effort.
Yeah, and another thing with the training packs, and this is where it comes down, like this relates back to how like game sense is so important, like and how a lot of at the higher rank is all just through feeling, like we're not really thinking much. So when I do training packs, I find if I just mindlessly go do training packs, it's not effective, like at all. Like I'm not learning anything. So literally for almost every single shot, I have to try and get my mindset like I'm taking that shot in the game. Because it's different if I just go and do a training pack.
Okay.
So I mean, it might not be the same for everyone, but that's how it is for me, and it could be the same for him. So it's just a suggestion.
Let's
that
translate
you
it
should
with the
try
game.
and think.
Okay.
Yeah, you should try and prep himself before the shot, then react to the shot like as if it's a game, and do it like that rather than just reset, go, reset, go, reset, go. You know.
Well, do you know what? This brings up something that it's important to me, and I don't know how much of it is an issue or how other people think about it. But what I've had to address recently was what do you actually want from Rocket League? Because you know, there's a lot of people who want to be rock stars. Because we can all imagine ourselves being on a stage jamming on a fucking guitar and 10,000 people all throwing their underwear at you, you know, but do you want to do the work? You know, to become that kind of rock star means you're going to have to play a lot of shitty gigs for like 5 years, carry your own equipment, not get paid, and then eventually you make it. And I think a lot of people want to be GCs like me. But they just want to be in rank and like, okay, let me learn the game while I'm playing it, and why can't I rank up? It's kind of
So I mean, this is an interesting point. It all depends on just everyone's unique personality. Because some people are completely content with just playing for fun and they're not really caring about their ranks. And then, like you say, there's people who they want those nice ranks, but they're not really like playing correctly to get those ranks, because you have to try. You have to do certain things, like you say. You have to train, you have to practice, you have to think about the game in the correct way. And a lot of those people, they're just not down to do that, or they don't know how. But then they want the rank, and then they're disappointed. And then there's other people who are just like dead set. They know what to do. They think about the game intensely. And I mean, there's also a little bit of talent that comes in. You know, some people are just talented, and another thing is also it can be game specific. Like Rocket League is a very unique game, right? So like if you took someone who's very good at CS, and let's say they became good at CS but they weren't trying very hard, if they put in the same amount of effort in Rocket League, the equivalent rank in Rocket League relative to CS would be much lower, right? Just because they're less talented in Rocket League. It just doesn't match whatever they're good at. So it's completely unique to everyone.
All
but
right.
yeah, you have to put in the work. If you want it, you have to put in the work regardless.
Well, what I've noticed, and I've noticed it with myself, and occasionally talking to other people, is you'll watch videos from, you know, Squishy Muffins or Musty or any of these other high-level guys, and they give advice, and a lot of their advice is the same, but we tend to pick and choose the advice we like. And watching your own replays is one of those. It's very good advice, but it's a shit thing to do. It's horrible to watch yourself play.
Yeah.
So I'd be interested. So I'm going to ask in the chat. So who in the chat watches their own replay? So just hit 1 for yes, 2 for no, or just let's do 1 for yes. If you watch your own replays, just put a 1. I'd be interested to see how many people do actually watch their own replays.
Yeah, I don't suspect there will be very many.
Okay, so Skulk says he watches.
Okay.
Devon, he watches his replays. Empty Promises is a 2. Zentry's a 2. Statics is 1. Okay, a lot of 2s coming through.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think there's also a lot of having to get over yourself. Like playing 1s. I mean, we spoke about raging and getting triggered in 1s. For me, I've gotten back into playing it, and I'm at the point now where I really enjoy it. But I had to get over myself that there are gonna be people better than me. I am gonna fuck up. I am gonna lose. But what am I learning from it? And all these things you don't like doing. Well, you have to get over that if you want to be better. You can't be better by just having fun all the time. Sometimes there's a bit of work involved.
Yeah, definitely. Although the very unique situation to us South Africans is that a lot of the time we can lose to people who aren't actually better than us, just purely down to ping.
Yes.
I mean, I have that all the time in my 1s games. Like after being to the UK and literally just running my way like through so many people, and then now I come and I lose to champ 3s, and there's just nothing I can do about it. That's extremely frustrating. But I mean, that's just something we have to deal with.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, let me. I feel like I've ignored some questions in chat, so I'm just gonna scroll back a little bit here and see.
In other news, you're in overtime.
Okay. Well, you guys take over here. I'm gonna go and scroll back and chat to make sure I haven't missed stuff.
Yeah. Oh, it's controlling. You try to flick it. That was good.
Yeah, it's okay. So the Skillz sort of just burning through everyone.
Oh wow, he's just bumping Shadow. Oh, this guy's taking on the ceiling. Deeds is actually look pretty good. Like, this is good. I mean, he shouldn't
He's
have
doing
flown
well.
after it. That was like a massive waste of boost. Oh,
Well, that's opening. That should be a goal.
Ultra him score these. He does. Oh!
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 Close. Pass it, pass it.
Color Cult also in for that, I think, with skill.
Zeko got the clear. He does.
Oh, a double commit again.
Oh!
Yeah, big double commit. They need some communication. Oh, good wave dash recovery. Yeah, Deeds looks good. Is he passing? Rip. That's so rude, dude. The GC just saves it. Let the
No
man have a
respect.
shot.
Oh, what a shot.
Wow.
Jeez,
That's
that's actually a good
that's a
shot.
banger. Yeah. From a very awkward angle as well. Yeah. Ultras didn't know what was happening.
I think he was still driving into net, so he was backwards.
Rip. Has blue team won a game so far? Like, has Skillz still won a game?
I have not.
I
I
don't
haven't
know.
been keeping
Yeah,
track.
I haven't watched that closely. Okay, so let's go to questions in the chat. Okay, so a question from Murray, which is not necessarily Skillz related, but he says, where do you guys see our South African Rocket League in 6 months? I don't know what he means exactly, but
In 6 months. I don't know, Falacer, what do you think?
6 months is quite a short period of time.
yes.
Yeah. For
But like
local
in
Rocket
terms, in
League,
terms of
very
what, like competitive or the general skill level.
All right, Murray.
It's-
Murray, ask a more specific question. So that's the immediate answer. Easiest game mode, we've done that. Oh, and then there was another question from Statics on the issue of replays, like getting it like a replay analysis done. I know both of you do quite a bit of that. The question was, is there value in doing it when you're a plat? Or is it for a high? Was that more appropriate for high level stuff?
No, I think it's appropriate at all ranks. Okay, by yourself, maybe not so much at the lower ranks, because I feel like the areas there's so much to improve from, just by playing a lot and watching Rocket League. The watching your replays out like by yourself, I would say that's maybe a bit like for maybe like champing up, but actually getting your replay done by a better player, I think that applies to all ranks, because they can immediately point out a whole bunch of stuff that you might not even be noticing.
Okay, and then there's questions from Inquisitor. He says, can we have a quick chat about the difference between effective ball chasing and mindless ball chasing? I don't know if which he says he's aiming at Moy RP, but anyway.
Of course he is, dude.
But is there a difference? I mean, I read that question and I go, what does that even mean?
Big difference. Well, what do you think, Falacer? I'm curious.
Well, obviously there's a big difference. Effective ball chasing would be not mind. Oh, I guess the other side of it, not ineffective ball chasing, would be mindlessly going for the ball without, or like disregarding your team's position or the context of the situation. Whereas effective ball chasing would be going for the ball when you need to, but being more aggressive than a usual player would be.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, it's open. Control it. Yeah.
Oh, nicely done, Echo.
Yeah. So if I explain it in a one's context, the difference is players who ball chase with who ball chase ineffectively, they just going for the ball when they shouldn't, and they're not actually thinking about they're not paying attention to the other player, or they're not thinking about the consequences, or they're just doing it too often, like too frequently, or too extreme, like they're committing too hard to ball chase. But then there's effective ball chasing, and that's maybe like going for a ball where you don't have enough boost to go for the ball, but you're doing it because it's keeping pressure on your opponent, and perhaps they're not expecting you to do it. So you can catch people off guard with ball chasing like that, because they, like, for instance, if they think you if they think you're gonna retreat and just like go back, or they think you have no boost, they perhaps not expecting you to stay on the ball, and that's where it's very effective, because even if they see you there, you're still just keeping the pressure on, and it's such a big thing in ones. Like when I play low ranked players in ones, my let's say ball chase. I hate to call it ball chasing. It has bad connotations.
Yes.
But the good ball chasing just absolutely destroys them, because they just don't know how to handle it. Like off kickoffs is a big thing, because what will happen is they will win the kickoff, and they'll go get the ball bounce near the wall, and they'll go get the big boost. But then, like, I know it's a good time to ball chase, so I hang around with low boost, and the amount of goals where I just hit it in because they don't even know I'm there, it's crazy. So yeah, that's probably the difference. Is yeah, just thinking about just paying attention to what's happening and doing it at the correct time, and not just all the time. That's probably what Moy is doing. He's just going for everything.
In terms of a team context, I think also ball chasing can apply to just putting pressure on the ball, and allowing your teammate to actually take the ball. That's a save. Never mind. So you could just put yourself in a certain position to make the opponent do something without necessarily gaining possession of the ball. And that often makes people just hit it away or think faster, right?
Okay.
So it's more likely they'll mess up.
All right. Well, then now we have another question. Well, a question now from Moy RP, and he might have to be more specific about the question, because he says, "Where do you see a GC, Snowy?" I don't even know what that question
Where-
means. Where do you see a GC? Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so be more specific with your question there, Moyapi. Okay. Static
Yeah, use
says
the brain, yeah.
Static says the thing is, if I look at replays, it's easy to see mistakes. Oh, but it's not easy while you're playing. Okay, I think that's more just an observation, and that's exactly why you should be watching the replays.
That's
It's
the
'cause
point.
yeah,
Hindsight is 2020.
yeah, absolutely. I want to challenge that DC in a 3v3. Okay, hold on. I don't know what that was from Onage. And then Lauren Yeba asks, what camera angles do you recommend? So what I'm going to do maybe after this game, between games, is I'll bring up my camera settings, and then you can just give your input on what you think is good or not.
Yeah, sure.
So, because that's so Aiden, Lauren, that we'll do that between games. And then Kyle Twomey says, oh, okay, I've been enlightened by the stream. Very good. And then Aiden makes a comment. I think he's talking to the ball chasing question. He says, I think of it more as keeping pressure on the ball.
Yeah.
The more possession, the better. And then Divine Honeycomb asks, is that twirly-whirly stuff the Champ 3's GCs make to go up in the air more effective to get to the ball? So it's the air rolling up in the air. Is it should it be done? I mean, this is an eternal question in Rocket League, but
Yeah. Well, this is actually an interesting question. There's actually no problem with that. Like, don't get me wrong. There are times where it's excessive, and you probably shouldn't be doing it. But what actually happens is, like, I take Gimmick for example. Like, Gimmick's probably like the most notorious twirler, let's say.
yeah,
And he doesn't do that because he wants to look fancy, and he's certainly not doing it because it's better. It's about the same, and it's just what he's comfortable with. That's how he's learned. So he and everyone else who does it, the reason they do it is just because that's how they are comfortable with taking aerials. That's just what they do. And it really just depends on the person, because and I mean, I've tested it. Like sometimes twirling for a shot helps. Like, it lines you up better, and sometimes going straight. It can even depend on. It can go from shot to shot. So yeah, there's no problem with it at all.
okay.
It's also looking at it from a controls perspective, because if you are twirling for a shot, or if you're twirling up for an aerial, the most likely action that you're going to take after that is to control it. And if you catch it on the aerial, it makes it a lot easier to control. But obviously then, yeah, it just comes down to comfortability with mechanics and how you feel going up in the air. Like, if you don't feel comfortable just going straight up in the air, or if it feels awkward, then like try upside down, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I get the feeling that it was initially when they were learning it, it was to look cool, because I've tried to practice it. It's fucking hard, and I go, I don't know if I want to expend training energy learning how to do that when I could rather be spending it on learning how to hit a ball a little bit harder. So I've never learnt it, and I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. No, you should never like think, okay, I'm gonna learn how to twirl to get aerials. Like, you should just learn aerials however it comes naturally to you.
Okay.
Oh, and the camera settings. You wanted to look at camera
Oh yeah,
settings.
thank you for that. Okay, so camera settings. Let's go.
You can't see it. You have to do it while you're in the game.
Oh yeah, you have to leave the lobby and then rejoin.
Or do it. Maybe ask them to spawn in.
Sorry,
Oh
sir.
yeah.
I don't quite get what you're saying.
You can't look at camera settings in the menu here, so we have to do it as we go into the game. Does that make sense?
No. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. Got you. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll let them get on with it.
Oh well, it doesn't matter.
So we have to recreate anyways.
Oh, okay, fine. Is everybody in this
You can
lobby though? Oh, I'm alone here. Okay. Let me invite everybody back.
We can just join back.
Oh, okay.
Although I don't know if it works for everyone. Yeah, it's not working.
What's not working?
Yeah,
I'll just invite you. Everyone's in the lobby already. Oh, everyone's leaving.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't join back either.
No, it's fine. I'm gonna recreate.
All right.
Have we? I don't know if we've got everybody. We'll see in a moment. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven.
But just before you recreate the lobby, just go to
Camera
options.
yeah.
Check
Okay, let's do that.
Missing me, send me an invite.
Okay, so there we go. My camera, the camera settings are up. So our field of view is 110.
Yeah.
Is that?
So
that seems to be a standard.
That's like stock standard. I
Okay.
mean, the majority of the vast majority of players use 110.
Okay.
But I've seen people use 109, 18, 17. But anything other than that is I really wouldn't suggest that.
Okay.
Like 107 up is good.
All
FOV
right.
is
but
just
yeah.
to do with your vision, like the amount of stuff you can see on the screen at once.
All right. Then
The more the
distance.
better.
Distance is mine is 260.
Yeah, I would say distance. Also, when it comes to camera settings, there's like a little like space in everything, like both ways. That's acceptable to use, and then any combination of that really is okay. So like for distance, like 260, I wouldn't go lower than 250, and I wouldn't go higher than 290. Like anywhere in between there is okay.
I've been using 240 distance for the last year or so.
Really?
And
But
you know what? And also, I mean, it does highlight something that there is a degree of personal preference in this. I mean, there are settings that are obviously stupid, but you know, within certain boundaries, there's a personal preference, I suppose.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, everyone to their own. I mean, it's just like as the meta has gone on, and like these camera settings, like have just become the norm. But I mean, like you see, Falacer is using 240, and that works for him. So.
All right. Well, let's run through these quickly. Let's not take too much time with it. Height is 90.
Yeah.
Yeah, again,
Is that
like
about right?
90 to 110.
Hey?
Yeah, 90 to 110. Yeah.
Yeah, 90 to
100 to
110,
110. That's fine.
All right. Good. Angle -4.
Yeah, -3, -4, -5, and maybe -6. That's all fine.
Okay. Stiffness.
And then stiffness is like completely out of the window. You can use any stiffness.
That doesn't matter. Okay. Swivel speed as
Stiffness
well
is
doesn't make transition speed. Okay, those ones don't really matter. Okay, cool.
Actually, transition speed is interesting because that's when you go on and off ball cam.
Yes.
Some people have that instant where the transition is there's like no animation in between. So you can get lost very quickly, but some people like that. So it just depends.
Oh, okay.
on what you like.
I'm gonna try mine on 2 and see what that looks like. Okay.
The instant camera switches.
Okay, cool. Then okay, well let's get this game started again so that we don't hold up these other guys. Oh, then there was a question related to that. Where was it? What dead zone and sensitivity to use for controller?
I can't answer that.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
like-
Well, Falacer's keyboard mouse. So he will remain quiet for now.
Yeah, controller dead zone. You you want it as low as possible. Basically, that gives you the least amount of delay or input lag. Because I mean, you want all your inputs to be real time. That gives you the best chance of controlling the car. And then did you just say dead zone or any of these other settings?
Dead zone and sensitivity.
Sensitivity, like personally, I don't recommend using very high sensitivity because what a lot of people don't realize is it doesn't make your car turn faster. It just makes the input ramp up faster. So it's what we call exponential or expo. So it just makes the input exponentially faster. And while that might seem like a good thing initially because you get to full input faster, it can be very bad because you might lose your control or you'll lose accuracy when you want to do small inputs. So I don't recommend going very high, but I've seen a lot of players use extremely high sensitivities like steering and aerial sensitivity. I've seen 1.9. That's kind of ridiculous. I honestly don't know how anyone plays with that. But
Okay.
again, it's completely preferential, and you should always just test it. Like just test out on free play and see.
All right, and then Moyapia wants to 1v1 you, but you can deal with him on that privately.
I'm gonna run to the bathroom quick. If that's
Yeah,
cool.
no, go for it.
Well, I haven't seen this map in a while.
Okay, cool. Yeah. All right, so I think let's do color cold, and we're gonna do from his point of view, and you can give your input on how he's playing.
Yeah, let's have a look. Oh, you didn't dodge on the kickoff. That's bizarre. I wouldn't recommend that. Learn how to do kickoffs.
Okay.
Ones with the dodge in them.
And why should you be flipping on the kickoff? I've never had a good answer for that.
It's miles faster. So if anyone watching remembered what that kickoff just looked like, he got beaten to the ball by a mile.
Okay.
It wasn't even close. Flipping is just the fastest way, and you see here just inconsistency with the aerial. He completely misread the ceiling bounce and got scored on because of it. But yeah, definitely flip on the kickoff. Let's see again. I think Skillz is gonna go there. Very
Okay,
clear. Yeah. This is good. He should go midfield here to support his teammate. That's a decent touch though. Can try go for this maybe. He's got full boost. See, he's not pressuring the ball there after he gets full boost. He's just waiting and waiting and waiting. Not really being relevant in the play. Jumped way too early for this. You see, that's like what me and Falacer were talking about just now. It's just timing. So it was okay to go for this ball, but he jumped so early that he hit it when it's already come down, and he just hit it softly on the ground.
It was a good hit, but just done it at the wrong time.
Yeah. He's gonna go for it. Yeah, that's good. That's a good try. Needs to look for pads. Big
Ooh.
boost is fine. I don't know what's happened.
Ultras, I'm sitting under the ball. Kind
Is
of, yeah.
Well, I can't even see what's happening on this point of view.
Yeah. But
That's another thing.
Are you watching someone?
Yeah, we're watching Color Cold.
Oh, okay.
That's another thing. It's just like you see how he's using his camera there. He's not actually gaining a lot of information there. He's just and I mean, you shouldn't be jumping for that. That's a gain awareness. There's clearly a player on the backboard going for it. Absolutely no point to jump. Oh, it's open. Score it. Oh no.
Good save, though.
Don't go for it. You see awareness again. Shadow's up already.
That's also like, I think he's expecting Shadow not to be able to hit that, or like he's expecting a diamond hit. You know, he's not used to that level.
Yeah, like how often is a diamond fast to that ball and hit it? Probably almost never. So. You should go for the corner boost, yeah. There's no point in sitting in net like this. Doesn't really gain you anything. If anything, it just keeps you flat-footed like there. You see the ball just shot over it. That's a good touch, though. That's a very good touch.
I should have been closer to that. That's the thing. That's what we were talking about with ball chasing. Is he's not going to beat Shadow to the ball, but even just putting himself in a position close to Shadow would make Shadow do something. There we go.
No man's land.
Yeah.
That's it.
You see his last back here. He needs to, and he's shadowing. So he needs to. When you shadow, you have to commit to making the last ditch save. And yeah, he just hit the brakes, got flicked.
Okay.
But yeah, like what Falacer was saying there is, the whole point of pressuring the ball is so that you force your opponents to do something. You never want to just let them have a free ball and just have all the time in the world to do whatever they want. Like, you gotta put pressure on them. You gotta park by the ball, make them think you're maybe gonna hit it. Okay, what's he gonna do? Yeah, this would be a good time to control it. You see, he just hits it away.
Yeah.
It was a decent hit, but again, Shadow was just kind of waiting for him to do that.
Oh,
All right,
open
well-
net. Oh, bad bounce.
Okay, well, let's switch sides. Let's go to who haven't we done? Let's do Echo
Echo.
5.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
It's a good time. What happened?
he
yeah.
turned out of net. He's expecting a pass, but they're both going. This is good. Ah, more control. Much better. Oh, it's open. Oh no, he tackled the team there.
I was about to compliment him on his patience of not going for it.
That can
Just
be
wait.
solved with
Wait to develop.
communication. Or just
Yeah, that's
being
true.
more attention.
That's good.
I say that. I mean, you're not always in comms with your teammates like they are
Yeah.
now. Oh, nice. Close. You see that? Like, just being able to hit shots on target with... It doesn't even have to be, like, the perfect shot. Like, you just make them save it. Like, I think a lot of people
Oh.
don't understand that concept. Wow, this guy's... You see, why does this guy know how to do that mechanic? Like, that is...
That is.
I
yeah.
don't even do that. Like,
I
this
can
guy
guarantee
is...
you this guy watches Squishy on YouTube.
Like, this is not what you should be doing as a diamond player. Like, we just saw him miss a power shot, and then like 2 seconds later, he's doing chain wave dashes back to the net. So, nice shot.
He looks pretty comfortable in the air in terms of like when he goes up, like he's already air rolling to. Like there, he was already air rolling into position to place that, so he's comfortable in the air. He's just misplaced so many times.
okay. All right. Well, we've had a request in chat to look at the POV from Shadow and Skillz. So let's go to Shadow.
Maybe do you want to wait till the next game?
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Since we've only got 30 seconds. So Nino, next game we'll take one or both of the GCs in turn.
That was a very straight aerial. Like he's
From who?
decent in the air. It's just
Echo.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, his flips and stuff are clean.
He just gets into
He's putting
over
himself
aggressive
a lot of
positions.
awkward
Yeah.
situations. Like now, the ball is just over. Like, this is also a thing a lot of people don't understand is when the ball is in the air, like up straight above you, it's super awkward. Like you always want to be coming at the play, because your ball cam literally just goes to Narnia. Like if the ball's above you, so
Yeah.
he's going to control it, outplay one. That was good, but messed up the recovery a bit. And no one's going. See, Skill just has free time there. No one's pressuring him. Oh, is he shooting? Oh,
He's also like sitting and then waiting whilst the ball is floating. He's sitting and standing still and waiting for the ball to be hit, and then reacting once the ball has been hit. So like you'll see he sits and then he waits, and then once the ball's been hit, then he starts to boost in a certain position. Ball's been hit, now he's boosting.
he's probably swinging a double tap, honestly. Oh no,
Shadow.
that's just a big open net. Yeah, he could be going for this much faster.
All right. So life's a glitch has another question that's often asked, which
Oh,
is
he's 1v1 his defense. Oh no,
okay.
Oh,
just completely in no man's land. I mean, to be fair, his team has left him in a very shit spot.
Yeah.
Maybe should have turned back again. I don't know why he was turning aggressive when he's so far away from the other player. What was the question?
Does the shape of the car make a difference? Like, does it change
Yes.
the way you hit the ball if the car has a pointy front or a flat front? And does it change the
Oh,
car
like-
handling?
Like the image of the car, like what it looks like. I
Yes.
don't think that makes no difference. It's all about what the actual hitbox is.
I think that
I mean, a lot of them roughly match it, but
Okay. So, and there's, if I understand, I mean, I haven't looked into this in detail, but there's like 5 different hitboxes, right? And every car's like one of 5 boxes or something like. Is that correct or not?
Yeah, there used to be
no
13 different hitboxes.
Sorry, how
and then
many?
Really?
There used to be
13.
30
Jesus.
30? Oh, shit.
for all,
I had no idea.
every single car had its own hitbox. And then in some update in 2018, they standardized all the hitboxes into 5 separate categories.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, the main 2 ones are the Octane hitbox and the Dominus hitbox.
Well then,
And that's
well
You
here's
guys designed it.
I have a question about that. Is so when you say okay, like the Fennec, everyone says, oh, that's a Octane hitbox. Does it?
Yeah.
Does that mean the car is basically an Octane in a different skin?
Yeah, it does to some. I mean, they play a little bit different. Like the wheelbase is different. I think like the Fennec has a shorter wheelbase, and I think its turning radius might be different. I'm not entirely sure on that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. I don't know. For me, I can play Fennec, but I can't play Octane. Even though they're the same hitbox, but I think that's totally down to like placebo or perception of the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a big thing for a lot of people to use the graphical like image of the front of the car as to how they hit the ball. Like they're using that as an aim basically. And it's very important, quite honestly, to be comfortable with whatever car you're using, because it comes down to so much detail with where on the car you're hitting the ball with. Like if you want to control the ball, you have to use a specific part of the car, and if you don't, then it's just going to be a heavy touch.
It's also where the hitbox is placed on the graphic, because sometimes the box or the front of the car might be in a different place graphically. Say on the Octane compared to the Fennec.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the corner hits might be a bit different.
Are we watching Shadow this game?
Yeah. Well, we'll watch him for half, and then we'll switch to skill halfway through.
Okay.
And that's mostly that's just so whoever's watching can see it from their view, and we can deal with various questions. So I'm going to just see if I've missed anything meaningful in chat. No, I think we've pretty much. Aiden, I'm very late in answering your question. It's 2 GCs, one on either side. Everybody else is diamond. Okay, so we haven't. All right, then now, Snowy, let's talk about. So I think what we're going to do here, I think we'll play 2 more, so 3 more games, including this one. So this game, then 2 more, and then we'll wrap it all up.
Okay.
But so Snowy, what has been your journey with Rocket League? Like, what was like? At what point did you went? Well, shit, I can actually be really good at this game. How did you do it? How did you approach it? What's been your general Rocket League story?
Oh, that's a banger. Oh, well, what just happened? How did it go so fast?
I think they
Sorry,
just
I'll
pitched
get to the question now.
Has to have
They
pinched
pinch it?
somewhere.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a banger. Wow.
Oh,
You could
save
say
it.
that, so, yeah.
Try to briefly.
Yeah, my journey started like a bit weird. Like I was actually maining another game, and then I found Rocket League, and like I'm sure for everyone, it was like such a unique and fun game. And I actually kind of like, so I was playing F1 competitively at the time, and I was playing in like a really like high-end league. And I literally just started like, I was having so much fun on Rocket League that I basically just like stopped practicing for that, and I just started playing Rocket League all the time, like ditching races to go play Rocket League and stuff. So that's how it started. Yeah, and then obviously like I was immediately aware of the like weird situation that we have locally, and because I was on Xbox, I really couldn't find any like other South African players, and obviously the ping, like we knew. Like I had one friend that I played with, and we knew like it's kind of like weird with the ping situation. But I kept playing obviously because I was enjoying it, and just by nature I'm like super competitive, and I always just want to be like if I'm super into something, I'll always just want to be as high a level as possible. Like I always just want to get to the top if I'm very interested in it, and it was the same for Rocket League. And the time where I thought like maybe I can be good is I don't know, I just well, I never thought, wow, like I can be good, because like we're so limited like with the ping, like we really had a big disadvantage because there's so many people in the bigger regions that they just play each other and they just get better against each other basically, whereas we don't have that dynamic at all because there's so few players to play against that you can't really build off each other. It's like very rare that happens.
Yes.
In South Africa. So I never really thought like, wow, I'm going to be good. I mean, I just thought I'm going to try and be as good as possible. But then sort of as time went on and I just kept going up. And then I realized, you know, like perhaps if it wasn't for the ping, maybe I could make it. And also going to the UK, that was a bit of an eye opener.
Okay.
But yeah, like I say, it's just my nature, the way I got good in Rocket League. I do that in everything that I'm super into.
Okay, cool. And then, so a question I did miss, and I hope the person who asked it is still here. Oh, that was from Devon. Is it better to switch to PC if you're on a console?
1,000,000%. Rocket League is just superior on PC, and the amount of bubble players. So when I say bubble players, I mean players who aren't quite RLRS yet. But they close. So a lot of very good console players. They tend to the best console players tend to come to PC and have incredible success. Like the amount of success stories is crazy. I mean, Justin is one of those people.
Also Squishy, yeah.
Yeah, Squishy as well. I mean, you guys might not know him, but Monkey Moon. Yeah, there's so many examples. But the big thing is input lag. So consoles are limited to what is it, like 120 hertz? Or no, it's like 60 hertz or something.
60.
Yeah, so that limits your input lag quite severely, and your frames as well. I mean, you literally just can't play at a high FPS. Like, I remember when I came to PC for the first time, and I came to a dog shit PC. Like, I came to an all-in-one, literally like a screen rip, like Mac rip-off, and playing on like 20 FPS, and the input lag was still like shockingly noticeable, like much better on PC.
Okay.
So yeah, if you can, you should always go to PC. Like, even if it's just like an average PC, like as long as you can get like a consistent 1080p 60 FPS, like you should definitely go for it. It's way better. It's much better experience.
At what point did you switch? Where were you at when you switched?
I think I was like I was like Diamond 3.
Okay.
Yeah, I was Diamond 3.
Okay, cool. And then I guess for you, Falacer, you've been being keyboard mouse. You've been PC all the time.
Yes. Would be kind of hard to. Or it'd be a bit of a weird story playing KBM on console.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, Devon says that's useful. Okay, great. All right, fine. Well, we had a game. We had it from on the POV of both GCs, half a game each. All right, so we're going to do 2 more games, guys, and then we're going to we're going to wrap this up. So if you have other questions, now's the time to get it in. We got about 10 more minutes. And then that will be that. So what is it going to take? And this is slightly off topic. Rowing bugger, yes. Well, it depends on the feedback, but based on tonight's feedback, I think we'll definitely do it again. I think it's going to be quite helpful, and maybe have variations of it, things that will be helpful to us sort of middle ranking, lower ranking people. Sorry, the question was, are we going to do it again? So what would have to happen for us to get a regional official Rocket League? Whatever you call it.
What would happen for us to be accepted into RLCS? Is that what the question is?
Yeah, exactly.
To get Africa as a region.
Africa as a region, or Southern Africa, or Sub-Saharan Africa, or anything that includes us, that we can have a proper go at things. Did we lose everybody? Where is everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah, the server went down again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's I hate to be negative about it, but it's really like a long shot for us to get RLCS. and that's not because of us. It's just because of Psionics. Like they're not really interested in the smaller regions, and that's just been evident. But I think at some point they can't leave it forever. You know, it will happen at some point. The sad part about that is I think it might just be it might be 3-4 years down the line, which is a bit disappointing.
Yeah.
And probably the bigger problem is like you said, what would it take for just anything that we could play, and we're not even allowed to play like if I went and I lived in the UK, like I'm not allowed to play RLR's qualifiers, which is a bit ridiculous.
Why?
Yeah, that's exactly the question. I want to say Psionics is racist, but yeah, no. If you don't have citizenship in a country that's permitted to play,
wow.
you're not able to play.
Oh,
Yeah.
guys, come on! What's going on here? Oh man, this is a cock up. We got 4 people on a team.
Two GCs with 6 diamonds. Oh,
is that what they've? Oh, okay, they've decided on doing that. Fine, no problem. Oh, that's pretty
Skillz
cool.
gone
That's
the
pretty
wrong
cool.
team there. What is this Pepeg doing? And then Echo needs to go to blue. Oh,
I
no.
don't know. They figured it out.
Yeah, get it sorted out. Okay. So we got
They
two
get a free goal.
two GCs against four diamonds. Okay, cool.
It's gonna be
Restart.
interesting. I think they're gonna
Restart for
perform.
comms. Okay, fine.
Okay, if it's that serious.
Big excuse.
Okay, fine. So there's a lot of work to do. We are disadvantaged, and so maybe we just need to embrace the fact that we are at the arse end of the world, and that we are going to be disadvantaged at least for the foreseeable. But in the meantime, let's make the best of it. So it's kind of like, yeah, it sucks that we have 200 ping, but in the meantime, you can clearly it's possible to become a grand champ on 200 ping. So go ahead and do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think the best short-term goal for us would just be that they change that rule. I think that rule's a bit ridiculous because it doesn't even afford us the opportunity to try. You know, like I think we would definitely try if we were allowed to. Like if we were able to send a team to go and play RLRS qualifiers, we would definitely do that. But we're not. It would be a complete waste of time to do that.
The thing was that they had a lot of large organizations leading that charge, and they had like many North American and European organizations coming into SAM, and sort of picking up the teams and then showing Psionics, look, we have lots of money, we have lots of organizations, and we have lots of people that are interested. So that was the main thing driving it. It wasn't necessarily Psionics going to SAM and like saying, "Oh, this is a new region, we should expand." It was a lot. It was a lot on the community of SAM.
So perhaps
I was going to say like.
Well, maybe a good start is at least get Rocket League to the point of being a much bigger game in South Africa.
Yeah, definitely. That would help a lot.
Because that's something we can be involved with and get. You know, if we had 5,000 like active people playing this game, it becomes a whole different story for us locally, I think.
Yeah,
in my opinion, it requires the game going free to play, because at the moment you can tell your friends or you can tell people, you know, try Rocket League. It's an amazing game, and maybe they do think it's an amazing game, but like they don't have the $20 whatever it is to just buy a game and that they might not like. A lot of people don't need to make that investment. So
it might go free to play soon, and also Epic Games is supposed to take over, so that might fix our situation potentially.
But we've been hearing about this for like 9 months. Like, oh, it might go free to play. Nothing's happened there, and Epic doesn't seem to have done much with the game yet.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of complications in the background with the business side of things. I don't suspect it would be even anytime soon a game. Although maybe I saw an announcement on Twitter that hinted at a free game from Epic. I don't know if it's Rocket League or not.
GTA probably.
Oh, it is GTA. Someone sent me a message saying GTA is free on Epic.
What? Is GTA on Epic?
GTA 5 is free on Epic. Yeah.
I had no idea they had any relation to GTA. That's interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know that too much. All right, fine.
But yeah,
So,
back to the point. It's you can have that huge player base, but then getting that player base up to the skill level required to have like a competitive league is a whole different story. Like that.
Particularly tough in Rocket
gonna
League with the
take
skill
time.
ceiling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's also another thing that, like particularly, sort of the lure for new players in South Africa is just quite how hard the game is. Quite honestly, I mean, for beginning players, it's a really long journey to being even remotely competent.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, but I mean, there's a fair number, well, certainly internationally and also locally, who've kind of pushed through that, and kind of moved from, okay, I'm just playing this for fun, to like, oh shit, I actually want to get good at the game. But again, it's a numbers thing, because if there's a lot coming in the bottom, of course there'll be natural attrition, but then you will have a percentage that will look to rise up.
Yeah, it's all about the total number. Everything just goes up if just the raw number of people playing the game is more.
Yeah. The problem with taking a long time for those players to get up to the level is keeping the high level players interested in the game and keeping
Yes.
them happy, right? Because there's been, like, even in the last year or something, there's been a lot of high level players just stop playing the game. For like a multitude of reasons.
Okay.
But like, I would say
well,
there's not enough competitive opportunity.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly. And it's just like the amount of time that you put in, you don't actually get that out. Like it comes to a point where it's not worth it. But on a more positive note, we are getting a chance with the Olympics.
That's true.
Our first real chance to
Hopefully next
play.
If they aren't fucking cancelled.
Yeah, if they're on cancel, that would be a real feels bad. That would be like, wow, we're actually getting scared now.
Oh no.
Oh, this passing play. Oh my
Oh.
goodness. Maybe a very good
Oh,
passing play by the Diamond.
everyone's having a go. All right, fine. Well, then, as we come to the end of this, what are the someone high plat diamond looking to get into champ? What should we be doing?
Play 6 mans.
Play 6
Yeah, I
minutes?
can play 6 rounds. That'll help for sure.
Okay.
Learn how to hit the ball hard. Like literally, just fucking boom it as hard as possible every time, so that there's never a weak touch. Learn how to control it. The amount of times I saw people just giving it away in the games tonight is quite a lot. So I think from what I've seen tonight, a good piece of advice would just be to tell them to control the ball. Don't just hit it for the sake of hitting it, right? If there's a chance to hit it and it's going to do something like useful, then go ahead and hit it. And also just bang it, like if you need it clear. But if there's no immediate threat, then just hold on to it. Like, and honestly, playing ones can help with that. Like playing ones will give you ball time. It'll teach you to control the ball and be patient.
One thing to, if you're speaking on positioning on defense, is, or one thing to focus on is when you get into a certain position in defense, try to stay in that position and don't like sort of meander out of goal. Because that happens so much where people in net will like rotate back post, but then like turn and start to wander out of net when the ball's kind of floating around. And then the ball will just go in the head and they won't have enough time to react. So like put yourself in a position where you have enough time to react. Even on offense, you know, like don't just sit in front of their goal.
Fair enough. Okay, cool. Well, I think then we are. I think we've covered all the questions, and I don't see any more coming in. So I think we might just wrap it up there. Listen, they're reading up. Okay, one more. One more.
Yeah, one more.
Then we're done. Okay, so then let's. To wrap things up, let's focus on the game and what's happening in the game, and I'll let the two of you talk through it. Best of three altruism once. And I'll let you guys talk it through.
Are they doing the 2v4 thing again?
Yes, they are, I think.
So. Alright. It's an interesting dynamic. This kind of content used to be very popular, I think.
On Johnny's.
Yeah.
streamed for a while. There's a lot of different combinations of a bunch of players versus higher players.
Lauren, it's a pleasure. Thank you for being there, and I'm very pleased if it's been helpful. That's awesome.
For the two GCs, it's mostly just about not giving away position.
Or diving out of the game,
Yeah.
because then it's 1v4.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, this is a bit risky.
It's like just send one guy to bump. That'd be a good strategy.
Like they just have extra people to just throw at the guy. See, like this is where like the reason why two GCs can win this scenario is just because the diamonds don't pressure enough. You know, if it was 4 C3s, they're not gonna win. Because they're just getting pressured all the time. Particularly, like even more so, just because of the extra players. So the diamonds aren't really utilizing their extra teammate.
Yeah. Also, in this context, the diamonds are given, or they have a lot more space, but they don't use it effectively. So they'll sort of just dribble the ball slowly up the field and allow the two GCs to just get back and defend.
Okay, question in chat. Any ways on practicing to improve speed?
Free play, I would say. Just free play, flipping around, getting to know your car.
Yeah, and also
One of the best ways.
like just like better positioning can help out with speed. Oftentimes, oh, is this a goal? Oh, we saved it. Like oftentimes, the reason why people are so slow to the ball is just because they're in a bad position. Like I mentioned earlier, if you're always coming at the player, you're generally going to be faster because all you have to do is just go forward at it. And if you judge the distance correctly, you can always just beat at the ball super fast. But yeah, free players as well.
Speed also doesn't necessarily just refer to like the speed that you're moving. It also refers to the speed of your decision making. If you can decide on what to do before you're hitting the ball, it'll make your decisions a lot more clear.
Yeah, don't hesitate. Just go full send. If you hesitate, that's where you're gonna lose a shitload of speed, and that's also where you're gonna get caught in like no man's land. If you hesitate, then you're not saving it or you're not challenging, and then you're just like in the middle, and that's often when the ball will just go over your head.
And then that's where it comes in with experience of like knowing or like trusting yourself to know what the right move is, instead of having to think about it a couple of times.
All right, a question from Gareth. Gareth Stones. What mistakes do Champ 1s, Champ 2s make which limit them from Champ 3 and Grand Champ?
Didn't we mention this earlier?
You might have. It does feel a little bit repetitive, but I think Gareth joined us late.
Okay. Yeah, what did we say earlier? It was
come up with a new answer.
C2, the difference between C1 and C2, between C2 and C3 and Grand Champ is just consistency of mechanics. It's not necessarily you don't know the mechanics or like you don't know the positioning. It's more just doing those certain things more effectively.
Yeah, and there's very a little bit of speed in there, and
Yeah,
it's like
true.
it's like a little bit of everything, right? But like the consistency in mechanics is probably a big one. Like you know, this game is ultimately about scoring goals, and probably a big difference in those two ranks is literally just C3s are taking the opportunities. If they get a shot, they're gonna bang it way more often than the Champ 1s, and they're just getting more goals in general.
Okay, cool. Oh, opportunity lost.
We need to,
Do you think a strategy here should have been one person assigned to just going to demo?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Just get
because if they actually get a demo, then they're in a seriously favored spot.
Because it doesn't looks like no one's taken on that job to just go and bang the crap out of it.
I mean, if you look here, like no one is really like pressuring ball. Like Shadow just has a free shot here. I mean, there's 4 players on the field. Like someone has to be pressuring this. And yeah, they just like both. There's no one in net even.
Yeah.
It's a lot just sort of driving slowly, like driving slowly up to the ball.
Yeah.
Not really with any sense of urgency. doing passing plays among the teams.
Oh no.
Oof.
Oh,
what a
no.
miss. Oh, are they getting a goal? No.
I mean, but the difference is quite stark, though. I mean, that the two of them are holding off. It's 2v4.
Yeah, this is yeah, it's quite a big difference here. And it has I don't even think Shadow and Skill are like playing they're playing pretty risky.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like when it comes to like these weird like 2v3s or 1v2 or 2v4 in this case, like you really shouldn't like this play that Shadow's doing right
Yeah.
now, like just using all his boots for an edge dribble, like that's good. Playing against the team with more players. But yeah, like I said, they're just not pressuring them enough. They in the wrong place, they're not going fast enough, they just getting beaten to the ball.
Okay.
And just getting scored on by free shots.
All right. Okay. All right, so that's a wrap then. So, well, listen to the two of you. Thank you so much for taking time. I mean, this is it's not a small amount of time to devote to helping other people. But okay, well, that's okay. Last couple of questions. I want to make sure. So, Onage is asking. Want to make sure if you guys agree. Okay. One thing that might impact on gameplay is trust in teammates and trust in yourself.
Yeah, I mean, he says trust in yourself, but honestly, like confidence is huge in Rocket League. You know, I really think you can play above your level more often than not if you just believe in yourself. Like it's a bit cliche, but it's genuine.
Okay.
And then believing in your teammates, yeah, that's a tricky one. I think if you just play solid, like that problem can be negated. Like there's always, and I mean, Rocket League is like one of the like worst examples when it comes to like ranked and solo queue. Like it just happens where you're gonna get like really bad teammates. Just the nature of the game. It's gonna happen. But as long as you stay solid, you're gonna like win games where maybe you would lose if you weren't just focusing on yourself and playing solid. But there are going to be games that you can't do anything about because your teammate's just really bad, and you know you just have to go.
You just have to accept it, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and then go ahead, Falacer.
So I was just gonna say you can't carry every single game, and often the best strategy is just to be passive and just to defend. Because if you can trust yourself to be a good defensive player and like stop the shots, your teammates are more than likely just gonna go for the ball, and maybe once in a while score.
Okay, fair enough.
So I don't know. That's the strategy I used to first get to GC. So
all right, cool, fair enough. And then
maybe that only worked in a certain time period. But anyways,
and then Darth asks. He says, "What's the most effective one's play style on EU ping?"
don't on goal.
Yeah. Don't on goal. Darth has been known goaling so much lately. Yeah, okay. Yeah, best ones placed on EU. I mean, I mentioned this a couple of times, but due to the nature of the ping, you literally cannot afford to play any sort of defense. And I mean, I was able to get GC in once, and I basically figured out that I need to bully the people I'm playing against, because if I don't, they're just going to play poorly and still outplay me because I just cannot do anything about it. It's just you cannot play defense because you just can't react. I mean, the amount of times I've been scored on by just like mediocre flicks and shots, and like they just turn. Like waiting is not the answer. You really just have to challenge, and you need to bully them off the ball. You need to basically need to play super high pressures and keep possession as much as possible.
Okay.
That's the way to win in ones, and it's doable in ones because it's just you and him. So you know, if you keep the ball, you know, there's no other problems.
Okay, good. All right. Well, so Mr. Lowe says, "Wow, Falacer stole my joke." because he had made
Did you
the All right, then we have
This is toxic.
and then there's a question from K2. He says, "How do you deal with opponents bumping and demolishing me?"
Not very well, Kappa.
just jump.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Okay, when it comes to people who play like that, you should always try. It's very hard because it can be frustrating, but you should always try and remember that by them playing like that, it's good for you actually, because over time, as long as they keep playing like that, you should be able to punish them. Yeah. Like it's a good thing, not a bad thing.
No, I would. No, I think I would agree with that. What I've come to learn is firstly, you've got to become aware of people doing it and spot it coming. You know, it's no good to be surprised by a demo. You've got to kind of learn to see it coming, and then be better at dodging it or moving out of the way. That's one thing, but the other is that often people will put them. I mean, I've had a guy chase me around the whole pitch to demo me, and then left his goal open. So it does often put people out of position when they're trying to do that, and you've got to learn to capitalize on it.
There are measures that you can take in terms of not getting demoed though. Like if you're getting demoed a lot, maybe it's because you're just standing still in net, or like you're moving slowly.
Yeah.
So like you can take evasive measures, like just drive faster or rotate into net quicker. Don't stand still in the net. You know.
Yeah, being flat-footed often results in many a demo.
Yes. Okay. All right, and then there's a question I don't know if you can answer, but Galaxy wants to know, how do I fast aerial like you guys?
I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, there's like a million tutorials on YouTube on how to fast aerial.
Double tap, jump and boost. Press aerial.
No, that's not a fast aerial. Falacer is trying to scam everyone in chat.
Just hold arrow. Everything will be fine.
Yeah, hold arrow. Twirl your way. That's faster.
Yep.
All right, fine, guys. We're going to wrap it up there. Snowy, Falacer, thank you so much for taking time out. It's been fabulous, and we've had a lot of people in chat, a lot of people watching. So clearly it was something that was needed. So hopefully you'll take the opportunity to come back, and we'll do something, maybe a variant of this. But in the meantime, thank you very much. This has been awesome. I've learned stuff, but that's not saying much because I have so much to learn.
You just gotta apply it now.
Yes, absolutely. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much. Thanks to everyone who's been in chat. Thanks to all our grand champs, and thanks for the diamonds who came. I hope they learned stuff on the field, getting the chance to play with high-level players. But we will do more awesome stuff. Next week, we're going to have the diamond-only tournament. I think we've got 5 teams signed up for that. I need 3 more. And then that tournament will be a go. That'll be next Thursday. So keep an eye on Twitter and Discord for the details on that. But in the meantime, that will bring us to an end. Thanks again, guys, and look forward to seeing you out and about.
Thanks very much. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
Awesome. Peace. I'm out. Cheers.
Shall we play a game?
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, it turned out to be a bit more of a Q&A. Like, talking about the games, but I think that's fun.
Right.